Are you here?
Hi, yes. So I
Hey,
want to start sharing my ideas. I actually started coaching back in 2021, worked for coaching school, had some clients, and then I've taken like a year and a half off. So I'm revamping in still relationship coaching. But I just had a friend reach out to me wanting dating coaching. He's a guy, and my niche is second marriages, is my new niche. I was working with people who'd been in destructive relationships, strictly women, and I did a group coaching program on that a couple years ago. Now I'm coming back in and I'm really starting to embrace this, like working with men and fathers. So my big why is to reduce generational harm to our children. So it's about children, but I'm working with couples who are either in their second or third marriages or about to get into them. And they're coming up with the same kind of stuff. Either I'm always choosing the wrong partner. How do I know I've chosen the right partner? Or in a marriage, like, man, how do I find harmony in the home? How do I get everybody to stop yelling at each other and get along? How do I, like, why am I, whatever, trust issues, all the kind of things that come up, especially in remarried couples. And I found that there's not a whole lot out there for remarried couples, and especially men. Anyway, so that's where I'm at, but I don't know what to call myself. I haven't really done much in this niche. I want to reset. So I'm gonna join your program really so I can clarify this. I thought this year was gonna be on my development, and then my friend reached out and all this, and I'm like, okay, or an old acquaintance. I was like, actually, this is getting a kick in my butt to actually get back and relaunch my business fully. So I'm all in right now. I'm just a little scattered.
I, well, it doesn't sound scary to me. Okay, the point I want to make from the question. The point I want to make to everybody, and this is a great example of a really good niche, this idea of second marriages. One of the best ways to look at a niche is just what's the situation that your people are in. Because niching can get hopelessly abstract and ephemeral, but if we tie it down to a particular situation, a scenario that they're in, that's very helpful. So, because when we say Island A, it can become very academic or sort of like too back pain, but it's more helpful if we put it in a certain situation, like you're a grandparent dealing with back pain, so you can't play with your kid. These problems don't exist in a blank space. They exist in people's actual lives. And there's a woman, Ingrid Lill, who's a business coach with a pencil. And if you search her name, you find she's incredible. Ingrid Lill, Lill. And she does this, and I've started doing this in a lot of my puttering sessions, is having people draw out Island A and Island B. I cannot recommend this highly enough for everybody. You just think, okay, I'm going to draw a picture of my ideal client with their problem, but the provisos I'd give that can help. One, they've got to be somewhere. There's got to be a place. It's not just a stick figure in space. Are they in their bedroom? Are they driving their car? Are they at their office? Are they at the park? Are they at a fancy restaurant? Are they at a movie theater? Where is this problem happening? And to ask yourself, like, the breaking point, the low point for them, when it's really tough, where are they? And also when, what season, what time of day? All of this can just help you start to draw that picture. And then you can also think, what are they saying to themselves? Put a little thought bubble. What are other people whispering to each other about them? These types of things. What's around them physically that relates to their problem? Yeah, it's a lot can come out because you're also tapping into the right brain, is it? Yeah, the right brain. You're tapping into this creative part. So but all of that comes from this idea of second marriages. You could draw that.
Yeah.
It's a very clear situation.
I see it in my head very clear,
Right.
especially Island A, right? Been there, co-parented, don't anyway.
Exactly.
Have a generational history of it, right?
So first of all, that's for everyone to notice, what does a good niche sound like? This is it. Now, can there be more honing? Sure. But basically, I get it. And that's the most important thing. I get what this is. I get who this is. If somebody were to read that headline, like, hey, are you in your second marriage? Now, there's more you could do to refine the headline, but that's enough. I mean, that's enough to establish relevance.
Okay.
So fantastic. So what's your question now within all of this?
That's that, like, how do I hone that? Like, what do I call it? I've done all the Google searches. I've done the Amazon book reviews to get my clients, all the stuff I guess they tell you to do. But I'm like, what do? I coach people in their second marriages, or they're about to enter their second marriages. It just sounds a little, I don't know. I guess I'm a little, is that what I should be saying? Is that relevant? You just said it is relevant.
It is relevant. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, this is good enough. I've got the 70% rule around niching. If it's 70% clear, just go. Just do stuff. Don't hold back anymore. The rest of the clarity will come as you go.
Okay.
But on a practical level, you want to get as clear as possible. Number one, try writing it out 50 times. Try 50 different versions of it. Just give yourself the activity, and you might do it on index cards, like one per index card. Like imagine you're writing the headline, the top of your homepage. So you could say, are you just starting your second marriage and you don't want it to end up like the first one? Great, that's one. Terrified your second marriage is going to end up like your first one. Great, so another one. So actually, let's just try this in the chat below. So, okay, we're going to do a headline brainstorm for Barbara.
This is great, Tad, because this is actually looking for the headline for my website, for my social media. That's exactly where I'm at.
Well, there you go. Okay. Oops. Post this here for everyone. Okay, so we're going to set the timer for 2 minutes. I'll keep, faffing here, but I'm going to invite you. Imagine you are her marketing consultant, and it's on you. You're the copywriter. You've got to come up with a headline. There you go. You got somebody entering a second marriage. So now, while people are doing this, Barbara, can you tell me what would you draw in that picture of Island A? What does that picture look like?
It looks like mom in the kitchen cooking dinner. Dad just got home from work, exhausted, either watching the screen, either whether video game or TV's on the screen. There's laundry all over the couch. The kids are arguing. They're fighting in the kitchen, and the teenagers upstairs locked in the room with their video games and not responding to anybody. And nobody wants to come to the dinner table. Everybody's just scattered. There's dishes in the sink, and mom's about to tear her hair out. She hasn't done her hair and her makeup today. She's been in the office all day. She came home. She's just stressed. She's just a bundle of stress, and she's frustrated with everything going on. And dad is just trying to escape because he doesn't even know what to do. He's had his day at work and he just needs his zone out time. And not that he doesn't want to help, because he wants to help. He wants to be there for a kid, but he doesn't know. He's just feeling like he's a failure. What has he done wrong? Mom's running through the to-do list in her head still and trying to figure out how she's going to coax her teenager out of the sun to come to dinner. And when the dog's got to go to the groomer and all that kind of stuff, and just they're just like in survival mode. Her stepkids are coming over. So there's just all this stuff going on. Maybe the ex, all these things, so I can put myself in the place of the woman more, obviously, because I'm a woman, I've been there, but I really know that there's a gap in the industry for the men. And I really anyway, so I definitely want men to be a focus as well. I haven't quite figured it all out right now. I'm just like, let me start with one-on-one coaching again, going back to those roots and really getting to hear my client stories and working them through it. And then I'll build a group program out again. I don't know. So that's what I'm picturing. Right. And then, right. So-and-so still at soccer practice, and I got to pick up this. It's just like, anyway.
So is it the scenario you're thinking is merging families?
Yeah, so you're gonna have the turmoil in the relationship, in the marriage itself. Then you're gonna have the exes and the co-parenting with them. Then you're gonna have the co-parenting in your own home with the stepkids, right? And you're gonna have working mom, working dad, because the finances today is that and such in most families. So it's a lot going on, and there's no time to work on this current marriage or to heal the stuff from the past marriage that you don't even realize you're bringing into your current marriage. It's those generational patterns is the key. And I don't want them and to stop passing on those destructive patterns to the next generation.
Okay. So here's what's interesting. This is such a good case study of niching. And why it's important to have a clear headline. Because when she said second marriage, so I don't have kids myself. So second marriage, I was imagining no kids.
Yeah.
And oh, so you're just meeting somebody and you're starting a new romance with them and you're now married, but there's no kids on their end either. And you're both just having that's what was the picture in my mind. So the picture, so you see the benefit of the drawing out the picture. As she described that, all of us probably, we had our own sense of what she said. And as you described it, it's like, oh, that's different. Yeah. So the headline has to capture that. So the headline clearly has to capture the overwhelm they're in. It's got to capture as you said there, right, there's a new relationship, there's new family. I'm treading water. We want to do the healing, but like, where do we fit it in? And we're just feeling so burned out and overwhelmed. All of that has to be in there. So as you're writing out the 50 versions, the thing you want to do, and for everybody, this is why I really urge you to draw it. Set a timer for 20 minutes and draw it as best as you can, yeah? And then as you're writing headlines, and then also the second drawing to do is, where do they want to be? What are they craving? The person in this picture that you just drew, Island A, what are they craving? What do they want? And as you're writing the headline, you got to look at those two pictures. Because the only purpose of what we're doing right now with a headline is that the relevance is established, and those two pictures are where the relevance comes from. Like, you should be able to show your ideal client those two pictures, and without saying anything, they're like, fuck, you've been spying on me. That's my life, right?
See
They
that.
feel that. So I'm just going to read out some of the things we got here. Thank you, everybody who's thrown down. Leaping again, said Heidi. Like that. Doing it right the second time, second chance, getting it right. Do you want a hot and happy second marriage without falling into the same messy survival patterns? Nice. Move out of survival mode in your second marriage. Second chances, bridging the gaps. Hoping to have your second marriage be the success you always hoped for. How to connect, communicate, love, and breathe better than the first time around. Second chances, mending and melding. Beautiful. Healing patterns in your second marriage for parents. Yeah, see that for parents. Like, so that's the other thing that has to be in the headline, that there's kids involved, if that's what you're thinking about. Are you in a second marriage and it all feels impossible? Shifting from surviving to thriving, bringing two families together, making magic the second time around, overcoming overwhelm in your second marriage and bonus families so you can move into healing relationships. Beautiful. Stop the generational cycle of unhappy marriage. Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. These are fantastic. So just keep working on it. Keep coming up with different iterations of it. And what you'll find is there's a few things. I'd recommend this exercise to everybody. You get to a certain point where, one or two of them, like, that's the one. But then you think, oh God, there's all this sort of garbage in it. No. Because if you look at that, all those could be subheadlines, or you could just turn it straight into text. They could be the subheadline. So almost none of it's wasted. You can take all of it and then put all those other statements in the right places, and you get these pithy little, nuggets. So beautiful stuff. Thank you for bringing the question, Barbara.
Thank you, Tad. And also, I love that you told me to go to like that, the worst, I don't know what you said exactly, but like the lowest point. Because not all my clients, like the client I'm working with now, all of his kids are grown. He's not he's not in this chaos mode. But that is where I think the closest feeling and heart is for my clients that are in that place. And
the thing is, when we're niching, we're looking at it's a bullseye. It's not a binary. It's not are they exactly or not at all. What will happen is, if you articulate the bullseye of who are the people you most want to work with, the ones you feel best qualified to help, the ones where your heart goes out to them the most, somebody might come and it's like they're two rings outside of that, but they can still recognize themselves just like we all do with our horoscopes. Well, I guess that could be true. And it's like, Jesus, this horoscope, really, you're putting any stock into this horoscope? But people will see themselves in it. And they do that with our marketing too. If it's close enough, oh, that's pretty much where I am. Maybe not exactly, but there's a resonance. So,
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.